Hey, everybody. It's another edition of Unbreakable podcast. Coming up, so you better get this party started. It is Monday, September the 8th. We're here to talk about the Phillies, the NFL, and whatever the hell else. Listen, get this party started by Pink. Now, the reason I'm playing this, other than it's a good song, is it's Pink's birthday. Happy birthday, Pink. She is 46 today. In her prime, in her prime. Well, get this sign. I don't know the words. Her real name is Alicia Moore. She's a local girl. She's from around my area, Bucks County or something. I think she had Buddy, hoity toity. Coco, come in here and dance with me. Coco. Anyway, this pig. I've never seen her. It's concert or anything. Although I did see her, but I didn't see her. Let me explain. I saw her at a Phillies game one time. She was throwing out the first pitch. So it's not like she was singing or anything, It wasn't a concert or anything. She was just throwing the damn ball. But it kind of counts, doesn't it? Yes. This Pink, she's got her phone, little fans, and she's really good. But I don't know. I just always felt she took like a back seat to like Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, all these like new kind of artists. Get this Shooby-Doo. I can't get into this modern music. I'm stuck in the 60s. I feel you better be the time story. Is that all the lyrics is up coming up? We better get this party started. Really? Is that it? This party started. Get this party started. Ooh, get this party started. Where are the pretzels? Where are the nachos? Where are the Doritos? Get this party started. Party started. Get this party started. Was that it? I guess that's it. Okay. Wait, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, goodbye, Pink. No, anyway, I like pink. Although my favorite color is blue. But, so much for that. Happy birthday, Pink. Wherever you are, I hope you're celebrating and having a good time and having a party and playing your own song. Get this party started. All right. So we gotta talk about the Phillies. I'm all geared up, as you can see, with my Phillies red and blue. But how about this lady? Huh? Lady. Friday night, down at the Phillies, Florida, Miami, whatever, game. And Harrison Bader hits a home run into the left field stands. Now, nobody caught the ball, number one. It landed in a row, and then people were scrambling, as they do for the ball. This guy happened to be a section of Phillies fans. Of course, the Marlins really don't have any fans down there. The stadium is pretty well empty, and pretty much 3/4 of whoever's there are opposition fans. Phillies, Yankees always sell. Anyway, so the ball lands, Hubbard ball lands. This guy picks it up. He's in the row, runs it back. The other end of the row, gives the ball to his little boy, who happens to be his birthday. So all is well with the work. Here comes running, in case you haven't seen it. I'm sure you have, unless you've been living on the rock. this wild woman. She's I would call her a bee. Although I don't want to swear on it's a family podcast, but she was a real bee. And she started running at the goal. And she started saying, "That's my ball. Give me my ball. Give me my ball." Well, the guy really was like, "Whoa, what the hell is this?" And just kind of like threw his arms up. I think he wanted to hit, but he held back. I gotta give him credit there because he really couldn't pop the one, but he did it. So the son is there like, "What the hell?" He's like, "Oh," and and she's screaming and yelling. So he ends up taking the ball out of his son's glove and like this, taking it out and handed it to the bee and saying, "Here, take it, get away from me, go to hell." And she did. She ran away. And other fans in that section were booing her, and she was giving them the finger. And you know what finger I'm talking about. So this was on the TV, of course. The commentators made different comments. It went viral. It was on social media. It made the evening news. Ay, 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 ay. There's probably people in China saw this damn thing, you know? So anyway, the Chinatown. Well, let me tell you what happened after the game. We all saw what happened. The Marlins, uh, they're a pathetic organization, but they were good to this kid. They went up with a Marlins pack. I don't know what's in it. Maybe Marlins tickets, Marlins stickers, whatever. And of course, that's like giving you a roll of toilet paper. Who the hell wants that? But the kid took it. Okay. But then the best part was they took the kid back in the stadium there. He met the one and only Harrison Bader underneath the stands. Bader brought a bat with him, signed the bat, gave it to the kid. So the kid made out like a bandit when you really think about it. Who wants the stinky ball when the kid could have a bat signed by Harrison Bader, gets to meet Harrison Bader, and gets all this attention. So here's what I think about the whole thing. I think it stinks. The lady. Here's the rule. If you ever went to a baseball game, this is the rule. And it's common sense. If you catch the ball with your bare hands, it's yours. It's your ball. If the ball glances off of your hands and falls, let's say there, it's a live ball, anyone can have it. But by rights, since it hit your hands and you're the one with the broken fingers and caused the ball hit your hands, by rights, whoever picks up the ball should offer you the ball and say, "Here, I know you messed up your hand pretty bad. You can have the freaking ball." Okay. If nobody catches the ball, let's say the ball just falls harmlessly in the aisle, as it did here, it's anybody's ball. You see people diving over rows of seats just to get to the friggin' baseball. It's a baseball. It's a baseball. It's not a gold nugget from Fort Knox. It's a friggin' baseball. So for this bee to say, "It's my baseball," no, she was incorrect. Just to start, it's not your baseball, lady. And so she was wrong there. The guy, he seemed like a wimpy guy. The kid and the guy are on all kinds of shows now. They're milking this. They're getting interviewed. Good Morning America, blah blah blah, all kinds of shit. And anyway, it's their 15 minutes of fame. So, the guy could have been a hard ass and said, "No, I'm not giving you the freaking ball. Get the hell out of here." But he said he wanted to teach his son a life lesson, a teaching moment. And so he whipped out and he gave the broad the ball. Okay. So that was it. Social media, which we know is not social and not media, tried to track this broad down. And they thought they had her. They thought she was someone named Cheryl Wagner, living in New Jersey, a social worker of all things. Damn. Yeah, I'm a social worker. And she gave social workers everywhere around the world a bad name. Well, as it turned out, the real Cheryl Wagner got online. This is a whole mess, isn't it? It's like all my children, one life to live. The real social blah blah. Cheryl said, well, whatever. She got online and said, no, that's not me. I would act like a crazy lady just to get a freaking baseball. In fact, she said, I don't even wear Philly shirts. Oh, they all have Philly shirts on, by the way. I don't wear Philly. I'm a Red Sox fan. How do you like them apples, huh? So social media got the wrong lady, and they were bombarded her with crude comments and all kinds of things, and like they do, social media. So they got the wrong. So we don't know who the actual bee is. We don't know. Nobody has found her. She has not, of course, come forth and put her side of the story up there. So we don't know who she is. And maybe we'll never know who she is. But, you know, the thing is, it's just a freaking baseball, okay? You could go to the sporting goods store and buy one if you want. It wasn't hit it wasn't hit by friggin' Babe Ruth or anything like that. It was Harrison Bader, for God's sakes. So don't make like this big thing out of it, like it's my baseball. You know what? I could never live with somebody like that. Could you? You look, you're at the dinner table, and let's say there's one pork chop left on the platter, and her husband takes it with the fork. And she goes, that was my pork chop. That was my pork chop. Give me that pork chop. That was my pork chop. What the hell, right? I couldn't take her. I couldn't take her. So anyway, so that's where we are. 2 days later, 3 days later. So we'll see. The kid and the father had their 15 minutes of fame. Now go back to your lives. Take your bat and you go back. The lady, the bee lady, who knows if we'll ever find out who she is. But one thing she's got to do is take off the friggin' white Phillies hoodie and become a Mets fan, okay? Because I don't want anybody like that rooting for the Phillies. I mean, talk about it, evil lady. Oh my God, that was disgusting. Anyway, so that happened. And the Phillies took 203 from the Marlins over the weekend. And Phillies are up by, 7 games over the stinking rotten Mets, who come to town for 4 games starting tonight. The only thing is, Trey Turner, he might be the MVP of the league, of this team, even though Kyle Schwarber is at 49 home runs and is stuck on 49. Trey Turner has played great this year. He leads the league in batting. He's up there in stolen bases, on base percentage, runs. He's done it all this year. He left the game yesterday with a strained right hamstring, which is not good news. Because last time he had one of those, he was out 6 weeks. And if you think about it, 6 weeks would take us into the playoffs. And that's not good news for the Phillies. They're already down Zach Wheeler, and now are they going to be down Trey Turner? Well, we're going to see. We don't know how long he's going to be out, but the Mets come into town, and this is, the Phillies played them just a week ago up in New York, and the Mets swept the Phillies. So it's time for the Phillies to give those stinking rotten Mets a little payback. Paybacks are hell. So, let's put them out of their misery. Even if the Phillies split the 4 games, that's 4 less games left in the season. New York doesn't gain anything, and there's still 7 games back of our Phillies. So the Mets really almost have to sweep the series to really make a dent to have a chance to win the division, you know? And, they're hanging on because the Giants and the Diamondbacks are coming up behind them to try to steal that last wild card spot. So the Mets better watch themselves. They better watch themselves. All right. So what else happened? Well, the Eagles, of course, they played last Thursday and they won. They beat the stinking rotten Dallas Cowboys. Dallas sucks. And so they were off yesterday, and we had all these other games on. And it was exciting. It was nice to, first of all, it was nice to turn the TV on and see football on a Sunday afternoon again. Now I know a lot of people are saying, no, 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 no. I don't want to see football. Oh my God. Are we going through this again? But I was happy because you turn it on, you watch your pregame shows, and you got your 1 o'clock games, which I love. And then you got your 4:25 games, and then you got your Sunday night game, and tonight you're gonna have your Monday night game, blah 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 blah. And then we started all over again on Thursday. So probably the best game yesterday was the last game, which was Buffalo and Baltimore. And wow, was that a game? Buffalo came back. Baltimore choked at the end. Only a few minutes left. Buffalo was down like 15 points and came back, scored a touchdown, did not get the 2-point conversion, got the ball back on a fumble, scored another touchdown, blah, blah, blah. Held Baltimore 3-and-out, went down, kicked the field goal. Buffalo wins. Buffalo wins. 41-40. And guess what, my friends? It was the first time in the long history of the NFL that a game ended with the score 41-40. Now, there is a name for this. Snickerdoodle or what the hell? I don't know what the hell it is. But people keep track of this, believe it or not. That scores that have never been at the end of NFL games are called something. Snickerdoodle. No, that's something. I don't know. Whatever. So you could chalk that one up as a snickerdoodle, and it's 41-40. Never been done before. Never, ever, ever. That was a hell of a game. And what a way to start the season. This Buffalo team, maybe they're destined. They always, want to get back to Buffalo has never, ever, ever won the Super Bowl. They lost 4 Super Bowls in a row back in the 90s. Well, maybe it's their year. Josh Allen is the reigning MVP. Maybe it's their year. It's the last year in their stinky, rotten stadium because they have a new stadium that they're building across the parking lot that'll be ready next year. So, we'll see. Now, next Sunday, you got the Eagles, our Eagles, your Eagles, my Eagles, going to Kansas City at 4:25 to play the Chiefs. Super Bowl rematch. So, Chiefs aren't playing that well. Chiefs lost to the Chargers to start the year. What the hell is going on with them? And they lost their wide receiver, Xavier Worthy. He's got a dislocated shoulder. Probably he's not going to play next week. I mean, it's the Chiefs' first home game next week. I'm sure the lovey-dovey couple, well, Travis Kelce will be playing his, what do you call it there? Yeah, betrothed, snickerdoodle, whatever. The girl he's going to marry, Taylor Swift will be there. She'll be there, root for her Travis. Although she grew up a Philadelphia girl outside of Philadelphia in Reading, PA. And all this time she was an Eagles fan until she met this guy. And then just like that, she turned into a Chiefs fan. All right. Maybe she'll change back to the Eagles after Travis retires and spends more time with Taylor, and they'll both come to their senses and say, you know what? let's leave the dark side and go over to the right side, which is becoming an Eagles fan, right? And there you go. We'll see. But anyway, 4:25 on Sunday, big to do at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And it's the Chiefs' revenge from getting their asses kicked in the Super Bowl. Well, let's see what happens. I wouldn't want to bet against the Eagles. The Eagles did not play well against Dallas. They did not. So, hey, you got two lackluster teams going at it there next week. Something's got to give, right? You would think the Chiefs, with revenge playing at home, would have the motivation. But hey, look out for those Eagles because they're going to go in there. They're not going to lay down. They're not going to let the Chiefs walk all over them. No, no, no. The reigning Super Bowl champs, the world champions, they could win anywhere. Is all this hostile environment, and everybody will be against the Eagles. Everybody will be taking the underdogs, the Chiefs, and all America will be against the Eagles. Well, you know what? You know what Travis, Jason Kelsey said? Nobody likes us. We don't care. Remember that song? And so, that's the way it's going to be next Sunday. But don't put it past the Eagles to go in there and ruin their little party for themselves. We'll see. Later on in the week, I'll let you know what my pick is. Hey, by the way, if you follow me, I had two picks over the weekend, and they both cha-ching, they came in. I had the Browns plus 5.5 to cover over the Bengals. In fact, the Browns almost won that game. The Browns were the Browns. They're the most pathetic organization in sports. They should have won that game, and they blew it. They choked. But they did cover the spread. The other pick I had was Ravens, Baltimore, first half money line. And that hit. And I said, the Ravens are one of the best teams in pro football first half. Lamar Jackson, first half. And the Bills, on the other hand, are one of the best second half teams. So when you put it all together, it made sense to play the Ravens first half yesterday. And I did. I was just thinking of this. Have you ever been to a baseball game and you get a foul ball near you, and people are always like this, and they try to catch it, and usually they don't catch it. But if it hits off their hands and it bounces away, they always go like this. I need 2 hands for this. They always go like this. Like that. Like, I had it in my hands, and I dropped it. Anyway, I noticed that about people, because that's my job. I'm a social worker. I notice things about people. And I notice that I have to go. I notice that there's no dogs in here to keep me company today. They're all sleeping or whatever they're doing. Okay. See whose friend you are when it's time to eat. Of course, Daddy. They have their daddy being wrapped around their little paws. Yep. They're spoiled and they know it. They can get anything they want. By the way, I wrote a new short story a couple weeks ago called I Was on a Roll. Sometimes you get a block, you can't write anything. In July, I don't know, something was coming out of me. And I wrote about 4 new short stories to add to my collection. I have about 38 now, 38. So I've been submitting to different magazines and stuff. And one that's called Heavenly Connection. Doesn't that sound divine? Like angel food cake. Heavenly Connection was accepted yesterday. It's going to be in the Broken Teacup. This is actually a site. The Broken Teacup. They have a website, they have a magazine, and they're going to publish my story, Heavenly Connection, on September 22nd. right around the corner. So I'll let you know when it's available. I'll put the link up on Facebook, X, and wherever you find literature. You'll find it right there. There you go. So that makes me happy. It's not like I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs and doing nothing. If other people enjoy the stories, that's good. That's good. That's what I read for. So maybe more. Anyway, well, thanks a lot for joining in, listening, watching, whatever. And it gave me a chance today to really vent about this bee at the Phillies game who stole the ball from the little kid. That makes me mad, Ugh. It's like going up to a dog and taking the bone out of its mouth, Who does that? Who does that? Anyway, so everybody have a good day. Take care. Peace and love. Play some Pink today. It's her birthday. Go Phillies tonight. Phillies play the stinking rotten New York Mets at home tonight. Let's hope they put them away. Football tonight. Vikings at the Bears. The Bears. And the world keeps going on. It's bright and sunny and cool here in Pennsylvania. You gotta love it. All right, everybody. Peace and love. Talk to you soon. Bye.